What is good, y'all? I've got my GOAT Toucannon. I'm so hyped to talk about these super sick buffs and changes for him, and also Trumbeak and all that other good stuff. But before I get into explaining my thought process behind the ability choices, the stat tweaks, and most importantly the moves, that is like the entire foundation of the game and the way that works. Before I explain all that stuff, I want to have a disclaimer for any new viewers to pause the video, read the description. I've got a bullet point list explaining the basics of the ROM hack and the way it's balanced and my thought process behind balancing the ROM hack, so give all that a read, really important. It gives you a lot of much needed context to understanding like how Pokemon work and my approach. I also have videos explaining that very same thing. If you want to check those out after this one, don't click off the video yet, it'll really mess up my watch time, but when you're done with this video you can do all that and check that out. I also recommend you check out the move guide when you're done with this video, as well as all the other videos I have going over changes, but move guide is super important because, that pretty much defines how every single Pokemon functions, right? Moves are like the foundation of the game, so yeah. And this is one of those cases where the moves are incredibly important to how the Pokemon functions, right? Like all the new move changes are very, very critical to knowing how Toucannon plays now. So, he's a giant toucan with like the beak cannon. It heats up, it gets hot, it shoots beams and shit, so that's why. So the first ability I want to explain is Flash Fire, because it's probably the weirdest choice. There's a decent amount of other normal flying types I have to balance around, but mostly, for example, in Sweltering Sun he has Intimidate, but I'm not a fan of Intimidate, especially over the years I've kind of like grown to like it less. I think it's kind of boring to use, I think it risks crits, I think it's not that fun. I think Flash Fire as a normal flying type is much more unique, and then also, again, if you read the Pokedex, it talks like within its beak, its internal gas ignites. I think anything that talks about like this internal gas makes sense to have Flash Fire. Same with like the beak heating up. The temperature exceeds 212 Fahrenheit. It causes severe burns. Even in vanilla, Beak Blast is a guaranteed burn move, although it only burns if you make contact, which is no longer the case. But yeah, really cool. I like him having that like almost pseudo fire typing with all the fire moves and then Flash Fire. So normal flying with Flash Fire is great. You're immune to ghost, ground, and fire, and you resist grass and bugs. So that's a really unique set of like resists and immunities. Specifically the fact that just being immune to fire, ground, and ghosts are really cool all at the same time. So that's fun. And then, yeah, the beauty of this ROM hack is that all Pokemon are designed to switch between their abilities as as you progress throughout the game, right? Like depending on the boss fight, depending on the plan that you make, depending on your other teammates, your playstyle, etc., you'll be using different abilities. Ideally, you cycle between them constantly, right? So if you need Mega Launcher for that boost, you run Mega Launcher. If you need Rapid Fire for the priority, you run that. And if you need Flash Fire for the immunity, you run that. Trumbeak, technically you could keep it past level 33 if you wanted, if you really like Trumbeak. I don't like them very much, but you could. Amplifier is pretty strong. Sap Sipper has its own unique utility, although they already resist grass. Number one, they're not the bulkiest thing ever, right? So if you do want to keep them, especially into the late game, it's nice to be immune to grass, even if you are resistant. And you also get a free attack boost, which is the main appeal. Also, I wanted to give them an ability that kind of nods to the fact that like they eat seeds a lot, like their whole thing is like eating berries, storing seeds, it fires out seeds, blah 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 blah. And the reason they don't have Skill Link anymore is because Skill Link is very one note. Mega Launch, for example, all the Skill Link moves are for the most part Mega Launcher boosted anyway, on Toucannon. And then like Trumbeak, like I don't know, it's also difficult because then I have to like place the moves later. Like I couldn't give them Fury Pecks early on. I don't know, it's just not a very fun ability for them. Because it's so one note and because of the way it interacts with the other moves and other abilities, and just the way that I would have to place the moves. Like I would have to push Fury Pecks later, I had to push Spike Cannon later, and that would be it. It would just be Rock Blast, Bullet Seed, Spike Cannon, and Fury Pecks, and Pummel and Wallop. It's not bad, that's good, but again, pretty much all of those are either affected by all of those are affected by Rapid Fire, and pretty much all of them are affected by Mega Launcher, but Mega Launcher has the added benefit of being affected by many more moves now. So yes, I have reworked Mega Launcher. Fun fact, it actually comes from Strong Jaw. I had to repurpose the flags for biting moves into cannon moves, but yeah. Mega Launcher is incredibly powerful. So as you can see, all the moves that are Rapid Fire boosted are underlined and italicized. Well, if they're just Mega Launcher boosted, they're just bolded. Every single Rapid Fire move is also Mega Launcher boosted just by the nature of what they are. The only ones that aren't are Pummel and Wallop. Those are the only Rapid Fire moves that are not boosted. So Fury Pecks and Pummel and Wallop make a lot more sense to be priority on something like Trumbeak and Picky Peck, right? Because they're like woodpeckers, like they peck rapidly, so it makes sense for them to have like priority. Toucannon, not so much, but of course he's still just gonna keep it. You can kind of envision him using Fury Pecks, like shooting his beak out or something. I don't know. It's not that deep, right? It's still cool. So with all of those multi-hit moves that you can see here listed in the corner that I wrote down, all of those will be 100 power priority moves with rapid fire plus loaded dice. With Mega Launcher, they're 150 power. But I wouldn't really use those too much with Mega Launcher unless it's like a very slow Pokemon. Like for example, like an Energy Shield or Multiscales or Sturdy Pokemon that's slower than you. Then sure, go ahead and use like Mega Launcher loaded dice. But most of the time with Mega Launcher, you'd be wanting to use a speed move. Oh my god, a speed item, excuse me. So like a Choice Scarf or a Quick Claw, right? Or a priority move like Mud Shot or Vacuum Wave, all of which are or Ignite, all of which are Mega Launcher boosted. And Seed Shot as well. So that's 4 priority moves right there that are Seed Shot, Mega Launcher boosted to 67.5 base power. And then you have, tons and tons of powerful stab options like Aero Blast and Boom Burst and Tri Attack. I would say Tri Attack. Tri Attack is such a crazy move on this guy because it's a 105 power move overall, right? So it breaks sashes, and you can also abuse it with Rapid Fire or Mega Launcher. So it's 105 power with Flash Fire, but it's 157 power with Mega Launchers, and it's a multi-hit move, so you can do Scarf. So that's also why I gave them plus 10 speed, because you might be looking at this and be like, oh, somebody who knows literally nothing about this game and has no reading comprehension would look at this and be like, it's still mid. It's not that bulky and it's not that fast. It's a mixed attacker. It's shit, right? Like some person who just doesn't fucking read. Obviously, if you're listening this far into the video, you're able to understand like why it's really fucking good. The speed is the way it is because you have Rapid Fire and Mega Launcher, right? Rapid Fire is literally the most broken boosting ability in this game, by far. It's just so strong. I mean, getting priority on these moves is crazy. Beak Blast. So I haven't covered this yet. As you can read, it's relatively late into the game, but honestly, 55 is pretty generous. I wanted it to be relatively early still because it's a really cool move and it's an exclusive. It's signature even. So Beak Blast is legal for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 boss fights out of the 50 or so, 45-ish, 50 boss fights. So, the last like 20% of the game, which is definitely reasonable. And still a good amount of the game. It's 20%. So yeah, and it's very strong. It's a guaranteed burn priority move. The downside is you can't click it twice in a row, so you can't spam Choice Specs Beak Blast. Keep in mind that is now a special move because you already have Fury Pecs for the physical rapid fire. So Beak Blast with it's not priority in itself. It's only priority with Rapid Fire. So you have to use Rapid Fire with it, but it's still 100 base power. It's basically 150 power with Mega Launcher or priority with Rapid Fire. With Flash Fire, you can also use it for some utility like Switch In. Another cool thing with Flash Fire is it does give you stab on fire, but the main use of it is just to get that fire immunity, which is just really cool. Even like raw Terra Blast is pretty good, but of course any Terra Blast Terra type gives you a Mega Launcher boosted 120 power move for that type. And then you've also got Sludge Bomb, Energy Ball, Seed Bomb. So Seed Bomb's 135 power with Mega Launcher. Energy Ball, Sludge Bomb are 142.5. Mud Bomber is insane. Mud Bomber is like 167 power, multi-hit ground move, right? Special move. Focus Blast and Gunshot and Fire Blast are also Mega Launcher boosted, but those require a wide lens, so they're not, I wouldn't really think about them too much. They're pretty niche. Bursting Flames is a really cool Rapid Fire and Mega Launcher boosted move. With Mega Launcher, it becomes 112.5 power. With Rapid Fire, it's a 75 power special fire type priority move. If you got Terra Fire on Toucannon, you would be fucking eating good, man, because you got that Blast Burn, that Bursting Flames, all this, Flamethrower. Also, Flash Cannon, Aura Sphere, Dark Pulse, and Flamethrower are all 135 power with Mega Launcher as well. So those are all really good. Yeah, any Terra type would be sick. Hyper Beam Mega Launcher is fucking insane, right? Hyper Beam is essentially 225 base power with Mega Launcher, and Hyper Beam essentially functions like Draco Meteor now. Same with Blast Burn. Those are both going to drop your special attack by -2. Blast Burn is 140 power, while Hyper Beam is 150. So with that Mega Launcher boost, those are 210 and 225 power. So yeah, super, super strong, super fun. I mean, that fucking Send in Toucannon, bro, the Scarf, or Quick Claw Hyper Beam, it's so fucking dope. I love him. Boom Burst is weaker than Hyper Beam by a lot. It's 120 versus, I probably should have wrote that down here somewhere. People are going to think this is 140 power Boom Burst and lose their mind. It's 120, which is still crazy. It's 180 power with Mega Launcher. And the good thing is, unlike moves like Temper Flare and Wicked Blow and all these like Wicked Blow type variants that are also Aero Blast, for example, which Toucannon has and is also Mega Launcher boosted, Aero Blast can't be used twice in a row. Same with like Beak Blast, right? So you can't spam Scarf, Mega Launcher, Aero Blast and get like 3 kills in a row. You have to switch after the first kill. However, Boom Burst doesn't have that drawback, which is why it's at the very end of the game, right? Because Scarf, 70 base speed with Scarf is very good. You're outspeeding base 105 and below base speed. And if you get a plus speed nature Toucannon, you're going crazy with Scarf. But if you get neutral speed nature, rapid fire still has tons of use. Even if you get plus speed nature, rapid fire still has tons of use because priority is still priority at the end of the day. And again, 105 speed is good, but it's not like insane. Rapid fire is also good on Trumpbeak. You've got some early game options like Pummel and Wallop and Rock Blast and Bullet Seed and Fairy Pecks, which are all available before you evolve into Toucannon, which are all rapid fire on Trumpbeak. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, there's not too much else to talk about. I mean, it's very fun. I fucking love Toucannon, man. I love these changes. I feel like so many ROM hacks just look over this guy. He's such a cool ass design. He's definitely the coolest of the regional birds by far. He's such a cool ass concept, like an angry ass toucan with a fucking cannon for a beak that like heats up. Like that's so sick, you know? So I don't know. I like him a lot. Seed Flare is also Mega Launcher boosted. That has no. Well, the drawback there is that it's recoil, but you can do like Scarf Seed Flare. That's a 180 base power recoil move with Mega Launcher, even stronger than Energy Ball. So that'd be really cool, especially if you got Terra Grass. But in general, it's good, right? The beautiful thing about a Pokemon like this in Scrambled Scarlet is that he can abuse move relearner, so he doesn't have to ever worry about like switching his moves. There's no risk to it, right? You can just teach any coverage move at any point in the game and just go absolutely crazy. So that's super dope. Yeah, good defensive utility with that Flash Fire with your other immunities. And keep in mind, 80-75-75 bulk, while it looks kind of underwhelming, is still really good with invest because if you're using Rapid Fire, you're not going to need speed EVs. Another cool thing is with Rapid Fire, you could go full-on mixed. You could do max attack, max special attack as well, because you have really good special and physical moves. So, and you don't need to run speed EVs with Mega Launcher Scarf, or even with Mega Launcher Quick Claw and stuff like that. So, super versatile, super fun, super sick. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I guess another thing I could briefly touch on is Amplifier on Trumpbeak, which makes sense given that he's a literal like trumpet, bugle beak Pokemon. And as you can see, all the moves that are boosted that are important are here, listed right here, so you can read those and understand how Amplifier works. And also it gives you a resistance to sound moves too, which is pretty cool. So yeah, thanks for listening. If you made it to the end, I really do appreciate it, guys. Also, like, man, like SD, like loaded dice, Toucannon is like insane. That's like pretty broken, honestly. But it is what it is. You can't run a defensive item, so getting off an SD might be difficult sometimes, especially late game. But it's still very crazy. Yeah, this guy's the GOAT. A couple other small things I could touch on, like Explosion and Detonate, but those are not intended for the player to be using because you're supposed to be nuzlocking it, so I'm not going to talk about them. But they are crazy nukes with Mega Launcher, especially Explosion, man. Holy shit, Explosion, Mega Launcher. What is the base power on that, man? 125 special attack, plus stab, plus... So it's a 250 power move that always crits, and it's Mega Launcher boosted. So that is 562.5 power. Yeah, it's a funny button, right? Obviously the AI, for example, might have used that, but player, you're not really intended. Unless you're playing casually, then go ahead and, explode all over the place if you want. But honestly, it's overkill anyways. It's kind of stupid. But for the AI, very, very scary to play around. You have to use Sash or Outspeed or something. But yeah, thanks for listening. Let me know if you made it to the end of the video. Drop a comment, all that good stuff. A few more things I could touch on, but I trust that you can all look into it yourselves. Yeah, I'll be back for more coming up, y'all. Peace.